In a peaceful town nestled between green hills, there lived a man named Adam. Adam was known for his exaggerated stories and wild imaginations. If he told you he had seen a bird that morning, it was most likely an eagle the size of a cow. His friends enjoyed his company but often took his tales with a grain of salt. One sunny morning, Adam was strolling through the town square when he noticed a strange flyer pinned to the town's notice board. The flyer announced a grand reward for anyone who could catch the golden goose, said to be the rarest and most elusive creature in the entire region. The reward was a chest full of gold coins, enough to live like a king for the rest of one's life. Adam's eyes sparkled with excitement. "This is it! My big break!" he thought to himself. Without a second thought, Adam tore the flyer off the board, tucked it into his pocket, and raced home to prepare for the hunt. The next day, armed with a large net, a basket, and an absurdly oversized hat, because, according to Adam, it helped him think, he set off on his quest. He told everyone he passed about his mission, gathering quite a crowd of curious onlookers. As he marched out of town, children ran behind him, mimicking his grand gestures and chanting, "Adam's gonna catch the golden goose." After hours of wandering through forests, fields, and meadows, Adam finally reached a quiet pond. As he sat down to rest, he noticed something shimmering in the water. Leaning closer, he spotted a golden feather floating on the surface. "This must be it! The golden goose is near!" Adam whispered excitedly. He carefully picked up the feather and tucked it into his hat for good luck. He was convinced he was on the right track. As Adam continued his search, the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the landscape. He was tired but determined. Suddenly, he heard a faint honking sound coming from behind a cluster of bushes. Adam's heart raced. He tiptoed closer, careful not to make a sound, and peeked through the leaves. To his surprise, there was a goose, shimmering with a golden hue in the fading light. Adam's eyes widened in disbelief. "I found it! The golden goose!" he exclaimed under his breath. Without wasting another second, Adam threw his net over the goose and captured it with a triumphant shout. The goose honked loudly in protest, flapping its wings and making quite a ruckus. Adam quickly put the goose into his basket, barely able to contain his excitement. "I'm going to be rich! Rich, I tell you!" Adam hurried back to town, the basket clutched tightly in his arms. The news of his supposed success spread like wildfire, and by the time he reached the town square, a huge crowd had gathered to witness the unveiling of the golden goose. With a grand flourish, Adam lifted the basket and opened it for all to see. But instead of the majestic golden goose, out popped a regular old farm goose, looking more confused than anyone else in the crowd. The townspeople burst into laughter. "That's no golden goose, Adam!" someone shouted. "That's just Farmer Justin's goose. You must have caught it by mistake." Adam's face turned bright red as he realized his mistake. The goose had likely rolled in some golden pollen or mud near the pond, giving it a temporary glow. Embarrassed but still trying to maintain his dignity, Adam chuckled and said, "Well, maybe it's a goose with a golden personality?" The crowd continued to laugh, but instead of mocking him, they cheered for Adam's spirit and his ability to find humor even in his misadventures. The farmer came to collect his goose, laughing along with everyone else, and Adam was left with nothing but the golden feather in his hat and a funny story to tell. In the end, Adam never found the golden goose or the chest of gold, but he did gain something more valuable, the laughter and admiration of his fellow townspeople, who enjoyed his stories more than any treasure, and so, Adam became known not just for his tall tales, but for his ability to turn even the wildest of goose chases into a good laugh.